All my life, I've gained weight and lost weight and gained weight and lost weight, and each time I gain weight back, I gain plus, because the way the world's set up, it's set up for failure. There's a lot of greed in the world, and in order for greed to be successful, they have to make the bad stuff addictive. So I was one of the billions of people who were in this trap. My best friend went into the hospital and had a heart problem and almost died, and it freaked me out. And the next day, a friend of mine died of a heart attack, another friend. The third day, I went to a play in New York, and I could hardly fit in my seat, and I made the woman next to me uncomfortable. And at that moment, I snapped, and I said, that's it. I found out I have a son. Later in life, I found out I have a son, and I just have a relationship with him, and I want to live my life and have this relationship. So I wanted to take hold of my life. So like in the past, I started to lose weight the way I knew how. I ate some fish, and I would walk a little bit, and I started to lose some weight. But all of a sudden, an opportunity opened up for me. A friend of mine told me that she had beaten cervical cancer. It's like, what? I said, how did you do that? She said, I went to Hippocrates Health Institute, and I got my life back. I beat the cancer. She said that, there's really, if you use radiation and use chemotherapy, you're actually killing your immune system. But at the Hippocrates Center, they listened to what Hippocrates said, which was, food is thy medicine. So the best possible way to control your weight is to eat, to use nutrition as your goal. So she did that. So that was in the back of my mind, and I realized, you know what? Let me check this place out. So I went online. I found it was a 3-week program. My year was pretty booked up. All of a sudden, 3 weeks opened up. Just happened like that, like magic. And I said, there you go. There's 3 weeks. I'm putting those 3 weeks into Hippocrates. So I came here. Because I work at the Letterman show, and we get a week off here, 2 weeks in August. So I was able to do 1 week in July, had to go back for 4, and then come back for 2. So the first week I came here, and the education that you get at Hippocrates is just mind-bending, because it just makes sense. It just is intelligent, and it's just down to earth. So I went back home, and I felt like a different person. I was on stage talking, and I felt like someone else was talking, someone thinner, someone with more energy, someone with a power. And I felt great. And I couldn't wait to come back to do the next 2 weeks, and it was amazing. Since July 4th, my independence in 2010, this is my 8th week back here. I keep coming back for a tune-up, because the Hippocrates Center is really great for mind, body, spirit. It's okay. 70% of being in control of your life is the kind of food we eat. And when I say food, I mean real food. Our society has very little real food, and we're having less and less real food because major corporations want to own the food. It's almost like all of the old scary movies, I want to be in charge of the world. Well, America has a lot of that going on. So we're fighting that here at Hippocrates. We're fighting those kind of people who don't have compassion for other humans. Here, the thing I love about Hippocrates, there's many things. One of the things I love about Hippocrates is the compassion for fellow human beings. So you feel empowered by something that should have happened all throughout history. The bad people should be put down, but because of great marketing and great manipulation, they're able to create soldiers who go out there and fight their battles for them to make people sick and unwell. In fact, they call it health care, and really it's sick care. The only thing that Western medicine really provides for us is a stopgap when we're very sick, so it could keep us alive, so that we can get healthy again. Western medicine only deals with the symptoms. Hippocrates deals with the cure. Now, no one can cure anyone. You have to cure yourself. That's part of the mind, body, spirit. So in order to do that, Hippocrates gives you a hand in helping heal yourself. But you got to want it, and I wanted it. So since then, I had lost about 130 pounds. It was fantastic. I was a 4X shirt. Then I was down to a 1X shirt. I moved around. I felt good. I didn't have the extra seatbelt extender on the plane. It was amazing. But things happen in life. There's that tragedy out there that keeps knocking at your door, banging at your door. Eat bad food. I never ate bad food. I was a meat eater. I was a fish eater. I ate food late at night. I'm a comedian, but I never strayed from being a vegan. I changed my life, and that makes more sense than anything. Of course, people are like this. Oh, I can't be a vegan. I can't get rid of my coffee. And you know why? Because we've made them so addictive. Food is like heroin. Bad food is like heroin. I tried to quit cigarettes. It took me 5 times to quit it, and I didn't want to quit it. I made excuses for myself. But now I would never put anything bad in my body again. It's not to harp on the bad stuff in life, but you have to be aware of it. You have to understand that there's a amazing amount of greed out there. There's one company that owns seeds, and no one should own food. We all should own food. And not only do they own food, they make it synthetic, which human bodies cannot break down. In fact, some of their food is not really food, it's pesticides. So when you eat their food, you're eating pesticides. So what you're doing is you're destroying your body. So now all I do is put healthy things in my body. Well, I had some crazy things happen in my life. It forced my adrenals to break down. It's funny that I know that because I'm here at Hippocrates. I know a lot about the human body. And I gained some weight back. So I came back this time, and I had breakthroughs, and emotionally and physically. I'm leaving today. No, I'll be back. But the breakthroughs here have made me lighter, made me more educated. It's a wonderful place. When I first came to Hippocrates, of course, there's tension because again, we have all these addictions, and we're so worried about losing them. Don't take away my blue blanket. And here at Hippocrates, they were so lovely, and it just felt so right. It's just the people you meet here, the people who work here, they really care. There's so much self-loathing in the world, and it's unfortunate, and that is, over and over again, drilled in your head. You're not good, you're not good enough. Look at advertising. Like if you have a zit on your face, instead of saying eat healthy, it will clear your skin, they're telling you you are a piece of crap, and you will never get laid unless you use our product. We have that. So when you go to someone's sexuality, they freak out. So then they take this chemical and put it on their face to cover up the problem instead of just opening the problem. What we should do is open up ourselves and feel free to open ourselves. At Hippocrates, they let you be yourself. I've never been more authentic and more of my own person since I've been at Hippocrates. Life is about taking risks. If you take a risk, you're going to be successful, you're going to fail, you're going to be successful, you're going to fail. But if you look at an EKG machine, that means you're alive. If you don't take any risks in this life, you might as well be dead. And what happens is in life, when you fail, you're on the ground, you're dirty, and you want to cry, but who cares? You end up laughing because at least you're in the game. You know who's laughing at you? Judgmental people who are flatlining in life, who are afraid to live their own lives. People here are not sick. People who come to Hippocrates are heroes. These people are taking their life in their own hands and not trusting Western medicine. Well, the problem is that the doctors, and I've met doctors here who've come dragging, kicking, they're here with their wives to help their wives beat some kind of disease. Food will reverse disease. That's what food does, good, real food. So these doctors, they only get, in 7 years of medical school, they only get 30 hours, if that's the most, of nutrition. I have more education in nutrition as a comedian than doctors get in 7 years. So when they come out of medical school, all they are good at is giving prescriptions to people, synthetic things to put in their body that the human body cannot break down. When your body breaks down synthetics, your immune system falls. When someone gets cancer, what they do is they kill their immune system in the person. They kill the disease, but they kill the immune system. Here at Hippocrates, when you have cancer, what they do is they build up the immune system, and then it just wards off the cancer. And if there's alkaline and there's acid, and if your body's mostly alkaline, cancer cannot survive in an alkaline environment. Say that again. Cancer cannot survive in an alkaline environment. So why not make your body alkaline? Well, more and more doctors are realizing that they've been hosed by the people who are just trying to make money off of them. It's like that all over the world, but in America it's really bad. Pharmaceuticals should be the last desperate attempt to help somebody. Unfortunately, because they have billions of dollars, they'll probably come and kill me after this interview to make sure that I don't spread this word anymore. But because they're billions of dollars, they are just want more. And if they were shut down tomorrow, they would still be billionaires. And I wish they were shut down and in a sense, and only took care of helping people just to stay alive enough to get the education so that they can learn how to be nutritious for themselves, learn nutrition. When I left Hippocrates, I felt elated, but also I was angry. I was angry at how the world, we let these people get away with it. that we become soldiers for the greed. So I was angry and I was yelling and I wanted all my friends to know what I know. And they were like this, you know, you're too angry. I was on stage, I was like, rah, rah, rah. So now what I've done is I've learned to just be an example. And now more and more people are coming to me. When I talk on stage, I talk about religion and politics. I talk about different subjects, but I talk about food. I talk about sugar. How sugar is the biggest poison on the planet. I had to do 90 days sugar fast. No fruit, no beets, no carrots, just to get that poison and that addiction out of my body. And then I went back to the natural sugars, and it tasted better. My taste buds have changed. I can't eat a piece of meat. I've tried old type ice cream. I was the biggest ice cream fan in the world. But there's nothing more delicious than a raw food dessert. There's no better dessert on the planet than a raw food dessert. You just can't eat it every day. Well, you can't eat it before you go to bed late at night. The education you get at Hippocrates is powerful, one of a kind, and everyone in the world should know about it. And I wish everyone in the world would. It'd be really fun. It'd be like Rocky, where Rocky wins and the pharmaceutical companies go down in flames. And I know it's not nice to say, but they've been so mean and so bad and so hurtful to human beings. It's nice to see the little guy become the big guy, you know, David and Goliath, you know. I wanted to take control of my life and not let the rest of the world control me. I found out about Hippocrates. I came here. Had an open mind. I got the education of a lifetime. I learned so much. I know more than most doctors who have gone to school for 7 years. Not everything, but I know how to make myself well. And every time I need to check in and to make myself well, I fly to West Palm Beach and I come to Hippocrates Health Institute. There's me 2 years ago. 365 pounds, a 4X shirt, uncomfortable in my own skin, rosacea all over my face, and now, all these years later, I look 2 years later, I look 20 years younger and feel 30 years younger.